And 1, 2, 3. I love that. Every time it makes me feel like a bunch of white women who can't clap on the beat because we're all clapping at different times.
What is it? What do white people do? We clap on the 1? Is that
the 1 and the 3 and
not the 2 and the 4? Whichever the wrong one is, I do that one and also not quite.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Classic.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
No more hangers!
You thought you'd become a prostitute or a drug addict?
I used to love doggy chow.
I used to love doggy chow too.
Hello, I am your boozy, flaccid clown, Crystal.
Oh, fuck you. That was literally the one I was going to do as well.
I could sense it.
No, how dare you? Well, I'm going to up to you. And I'm a tragic, boozy, flaccid clown. That's it. A flaccid. Baby lame. Fuck you. I thought I was going to get that in.
And welcome to Camp Classics, a thoughtful podcast about stupid movies.
You right now.
Every 2 weeks, we are here discussing, exploring, and rating some of the peaks and valleys in the genre of camp film, in the search for the campest of camp classics.
Even if it kills us, right?
Even if we become zombie versions of ourselves. In fact, I feel like a zombie version of myself right now, frankly.
You're definitely very much dead inside, and you're just a visage of spray paint and contact lenses keeping you up, I think.
And that stick up my ass.
Isn't it the best?
Honestly, I've been at drag brunch all day, so I'm definitely Night of the Living Dead right now. But I've got a glass of wine, and we're good to go.
I've got a pint of rum and coke. And it's my second as well.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Boozy, flaccid clown.
Flaccid.
What movie should we cover next? Why don't you follow us on Instagram at Camp Classics Podcast and tell us what you want to hear.
Don't let Crystal choose, please. I need a break.
This movie was selected by the audience, I'll have you know.
Okay,
this was our most requested film, so we're just giving the people what they want. We are, of course, this week covering Death Becomes Her. I'll get to that in 1 second, but in the meantime, we also have a Gatreon where we release a bonus episode every month. We've just released our episode on Tim Burton's big stinker, Mars Attacks, which, spoiler alert, we didn't enjoy.
No, it didn't really go down very well, did it? It was
No.
That one felt like a real fucking chore. That felt like doing like media studies homework or something.
But
it was not
surprisingly,
fun.
the episode, was really entertaining, and you should definitely subscribe to the Gatreon to listen to us talk about it.
A tragic, boozy, flaccid clown.
I would also like to welcome our new Gatreon members. We've got David, we've got Kirsty, and we've got Tom. And yes, that is Tom, my husband.
Oh,
we love support from within the household.
Well, shall I tell you something? My boyfriend still hasn't listened to any of these podcasts.
Boozy, flaccid clown.
On the Gatreon, though, it does take loads of time to make and edit these episodes, believe it or not. So if you can spare a couple of quid a month, we would hugely appreciate your support.
Yeah, you're working hard on these. Props, snaps for Crystal.
Thank you. I think I'm currently averaging about 1p an hour. so if you with your couple of pounds could get that up to 2p an hour, and that would really mean a lot to me.
Help me, I'm poor.
And if you can't afford to subscribe to the Gatreon, well, why not share this podcast on your socials and go give us a 5-star rating wherever you're listening. Anyway, that's enough of my damn waffle. Baby, what makes a camp movie?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that, Crystal, because it's a question I'm most afraid of. One that asks me what I'm really made of. It's not going to stop, I'm afraid. This podcast is going to be full of this bullshit. Well, yes, what makes a camp classic? It needs to unlock queer joy. It needs to have an ongoing legacy. It needs to be stupid, sometimes not always important. It must inform queer pop culture, and it must be anti-mainstream / have underdog flop vibes. I'm not sure about the delivery of that. I've just, it's been a long day. Sorry.
I liked it.
Okay.
It kept me on my toes. I didn't know where it was going next. It
Good,
was rhythmically interesting. Set it to a beat. We can release it as a single.
Right now.
We're joined by a very special guest today. Please welcome to the podcast, Sue Gives a Fuck, drag icon.
Hello, darlings. Thank you for having me for a second time.
We're so glad to have you back. You, of course, were on our first ever episode where we covered, for some reason, Catwoman.
What a launch.
Yeah, what a launch. We've got a slightly meatier topic today, of course. We are covering 1992's Death Becomes Her, directed by Robert Zemeckis of Back to the Future fame, Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I think he did Forrest Gump as well.
Sure. I can't really be bothered with that movie.
Nah.
Nah.
I haven't rewatched it since the original days, and you just know, don't you, that it hasn't
straight
aged
nonsense,
well.
isn't it? And I think there's maybe some like HIV panic.
Okay, that seems about right.
Are you not thinking of him in Philadelphia?
I'm actually not. I think his love interest gets HIV in Forrest Gump. Yeah, it's very weird.
No, that's way too edgy. Was he a gay?
No. Straight people can get HIV too.
No, I know that, but I'm very surprised on Forrest Gump. They did that as a storyline. Janet Jackson did it on a storyline in what was it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, she had HIV.
Oh, yeah.
Film. Yeah.
Wow, that took a turn, didn't it? Let's start with the reviews of this movie, just for a bit of context. I was shocked to discover that this movie only has a 57% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Stunned!
57%.
And I read some of those reviews, and I was scandalised by the reception that it received.
Yep. It was pretty poorly reviewed at the time. Most film critics kind of thought, it was impressive from a visual effects standpoint, but they thought it was a bit hollow. It lacked substance. Some people said it was too gross. They thought it was kind of shallow and pointless.
You're a tragic, boozy, flaccid clown.
I think, and like what I saw quite a lot was like some beginner feminism of, these characters aren't real women, they're grotesque, and people seem to be quite sick of satirizing attitudes to women and aging and beauty standards in a way that now, like with the Substance coming out, we can't get enough of that shit. They seemed not to be keen, and I've got a hot take here, which I haven't verbalized to myself, so bear with me.
Oh, go on.
So there's two things, I think. One, straight people, like, they all thought that the characters were grotesque and therefore not relatable, as if, like, the most relatable characters aren't all grotesque. Like, any queer person knows, like, of course you relate to the grotesque ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, I think, is probably back then, and I wasn't there. Well, I was too, so I'm spitballing. But, like, I'm guessing that they were oscillating between a kind of feminist critique where you're like basically just like pre-feminist of women's vanity is responsible for beauty standards, and then a slightly more essentializing, we shouldn't put unrealistic expectations of femininity and beauty on women, but still like the idea of like, of course, we need to get back to reasonable and realistic beauty and femininity standards. And that was like very the vibe of the time. They all wanted to be like made under like Julia Roberts and sort of stop being performing your femininity and just be authentically feminine within quite set beauty standards. So I think that they maybe didn't quite have what we just assume now is an understanding of like femininity as a whole is, of course, a performance and a silly, fabulous show that we all enjoy. And that's why everyone enjoyed Substance, and you didn't quite get the same hot takes that maybe you were getting then.
It kind of came out at the height of second wave feminism before we'd said, actually, you can be a woman and care about your appearance.
It's just like the rules of feminism.
Anyway, I think there's a whole lot to say about that, and maybe we'll come back to the whole feminism of it all a bit later in the show. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It really does juxtapose really well with The Substance, because I looked at that and The Substance has a 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
Control yourself!
It really couldn't be more different.
And I mean, The Substance is very, very obviously drawing comparisons from this film. There were like shot by shots that are scattered all the way through it. So that's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, and thematically, they're both really body horror. They're both about punishing women for vanity. They're both like exploring the society's expectations. It's interesting that they were so differently reviewed. But yeah, maybe that's because there are more women movie critics now.
Feminism.
And I wonder, like, what was the chat at that time? Had they maybe just been having a conversation? Had something come out recently that was doing, like, lampooning women for Asian? They all just seemed really done with that topic.
Well, I guess we'd seen Goldie Hawn play a bimbo many times by this point. She was kind of known for it, right? And Meryl, I think, was pretty fresh off She-Devil, where she basically plays the exact same character. So maybe there was a bit of fatigue.
She did, to be fair though, she did have 2 Oscars coming into this.
Yeah, I know. I think in the modern era, Meryl is seen as like serious, respected actress. Like with that perspective, watching her just be so fucking stupid in this movie it's just so fun.
It's so fun. And she does stupid well as well, it turns out.
Yeah, she's so good at it.
Classic.
In terms of box office, this movie had a budget of $55 million, which is a pretty big budget. It just barely made that back domestically and was seen as a commercial disappointment. Although it did go on to make 150 million globally, which doesn't sound that bad to me, but I think basically it's one of those movies that found its audience kind of after the fact. It's obviously gone on to become a real cult classic, and as I said before, it's our most requested title by far. So
what were Americans doing in 1992?
Buying giant cars. Just like they do it every year. What's everyone's history with this movie?
I haven't watched it since the first time I watched it, and I don't have a clear sense of when that was.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't really remember the plot that much. Obviously, I'm just very well aware of like the aesthetic and the vibe because it's been referenced by every drag queen and probably every bit of queer media ever since. But it's better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be one of these camp classics that's been reclaimed and subverted from the flop that it was. And it was a flop, but it didn't deserve to be.
Yeah. Baby, what about you?
Well, I remember going to the cinema to watch this and being like under the age of 15 to see it, and my dad took me. And again, what a fucking indication of like what a raving homo I am, right? Because I was like, how did that even get into my psyche? And then it's like, I've clearly begged my dad to take me to see this in the cinema. And I remember coming out of it, and like I did with a lot of films of this era, I would then embody the character for like the day walking around Sainsbury's, etc. So I was dead Madeline Ashton. So that's like where it started with me. But I actually, I've done possibly one of the worst ever performances to A Drag Becomes a Show. Crystal and I decided to perform, and it was about 15 minutes long, a mini version of the film, and we condensed it down to 15 minutes. And and it involved Crystal being Helen when she's in the sort of the armchair. I think you were wearing a fat suit, weren't you?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you were. And then it also involved us lip syncing to Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston's When You Believe. And I swear to God, it was one of the most indulgent, terrible, not funny things we've ever done. And yeah, so that's a clear memory with me.
Wow. God, how times have changed. I think I did have. I had a pillow shoved up like a little baby doll dress, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. Especially because I have here in my notes to talk about this movie, fat phobia.
I can see right through you.
Fuck. Well, we've all learned something in the intervening 10 years.
The rules of feminism.
What's your relationship like, other than taking the piss out of fat people and using this as a vessel?
Fucking hell. I didn't see this movie as a kid because I was too scared of it, because I thought it was like Silence of the Lambs.
Hello, Clarice.
I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. It turns out it's not a scary movie at all. So I didn't see it until later. I don't remember when I saw it for the first time, but I obviously instantly loved it. I've watched it so many times. It's one of my probably top 10 movies of all time. I love this movie. It's so
Okay,
great.
spoil. You do this on every podcast. You've got to build to how much you like it. So there's kind of the point of the podcast.
Well, that said, I was watching it last night with like a very critical lens, and I have some problems with this movie. It's not a perfect movie, but I can still enjoy it. It's still got a very special place in my heart. Right, baby. What about a little Camp Classics quiz?
Oh, go on then. And do you know what? Seeing as I'm in my sort of Madeline Ashton feels, I want some sort of glitzy, showbizy fanfare. So I'm like looking in the mirror right now, yeah?
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da,
Perfect.
da, 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 da.
Oh, I feel it already. Okay. Questions are coming. Here is the Camp Classics quiz.
This is the best bit.
It is the best bit. It's because it's the bit I'm responsible. Thank you for identifying that, Sue. So question number 1. Bruce Willis really wanted to help develop the content of this film, and part of that was coming up with a title for the film. Two of his top choices were very close to being selected. Do you have any guesses what those names could have been?
Oh. Undie Hard.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Mate.
Round of
That's what I
applause.
was going with.
Undead Hard. It just sounds like you're fucking a corpse.
It does actually. Which I could
Wait,
see a deleted scene of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did he call it? Old Harridans, Messy Witches.
Night of the Living Bitches.
Oh, that's
Well,
good.
they're not, as you'd probably guess, they're not the greatest titles. It's Death Baby was one of them.
Stop it.
That's hideous.
I know.
It's Death Baby.
That's correct, yeah.
Do you think it had an exclamation mark after it? Like
It
Mars
should, have had,
Attacks?
it should have had an exclamation mark. Sue, I'd like to bring you into this conversation. And for people that aren't members of our Gatreon, I was discussing what film titles would be improved if they had an exclamation mark.
All
and
of them.
Crystal came up with a perfect one. Still Alice. And I love that. She's still Alice.
It works because she is.
Sue, have you got any suggestions to this?
I mean, the first one in my head was Schindler's List, but
We said that too.
Did you?
Why
Okay.
is that the first thing people think of?
when you just think, what's a dark film? That's where you go, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. So the first title was It's Death Baby without an exclamation mark. And clearly he really wanted himself to be the focus of this movie. So the second title was My Man Death.
My Man Death. Oh, so
Yeah.
he was going to be like the butler to the dead. Is that the
Yeah,
vibe?
I guess so, but it's like...
That doesn't
Hun,
make any sense.
But also it's like, he's really not that important in this film, if you ask me. So,
God, no.
No.
well, there we go.
I'm like, did we misunderstand the film, in the way that we do as queers when we make everything a camp classic? We necessarily have to misunderstand the film. He definitely misunderstood the film.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, speaking of Bruce, question number 2, who else was originally up for his role?
I know this.
Oh, go on.
I looked at the Wikipedia page.
Oh, thank you. You can see my sources.
I saw that one of them was Jeff Bridges.
Correct. And imagine Jeff Bridges in this. I mean, it's not the best character in the world, but I do think Bruce is good in it. Do you know what I mean? But Jeff Bridges would suck any fun out of this, wouldn't he?
I don't know. I mean, they were just determined to cast against type, weren't they? Because I suppose probably if Bruce Willis hadn't played it, then I would have said the same thing about him. Maybe the Big Lebowski playing the butler to the dead would pop off.
But then the other two were people that actually I can't really differentiate between. Nick Nolte and not Kelvin Klein, Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline. Oh yeah, Kevin Kline is already playing that character now.
Yeah, so he basically was meant to do it, but he wasn't getting paid enough money, so he declined it at the last minute. He was the main person, but.
So Bruce Willis accepts less than Kevin Kline.
Well, I think at this time, yeah. Question number 3. This film picked up at the Oscar for Best Visual Effect ahead of Alien 3 and Batman Returns. Quite impressive.
Oh.
But did you not know that?
I didn't know who it was up against.
Yeah. Really impressive.
Yeah.
But despite all of the kind of game-changing special effects, which apparently this set the tone for lots of special effects in Hollywood, apparently it was the first time they'd ever tried to do CGI skin, which is quite interesting. Not all of the effects were quite as fancy. Can you guess an effect that happened that maybe was a bit more makeshift?
I think it's Meryl's levitating boobs when her breasts are rising.
That's correct.
They tried to build a bra, like a mechanical bra that would hoist them, but the bra wasn't working on set. So they just got Meryl's costume dresser to come in and stand behind her and just hoik her tits up.
No, with like a little pulley system.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
What a job. And do you know what I loved about that? I loved that they popped in a little sound effect for the drooping of the boobs. Because I've never known what that would sound like, and they found it. It sounds like whoop.
It's like a reverse fart.
So question number 4 now. I don't know if you know, but there is currently a Broadway musical based on this film. But there have been talks about doing a remake movie over the last decade. Who are the 2 actresses that are being associated with the movie remake?
Can we have a hint of, like, is it current?
Yeah, current.
Right.
I'm just going to guess someone who I know loves to ruin a classic. Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, and you're right. And she does fucking love to ruin a fucking remake, doesn't she?
She ruined The Witches.
She ruined Catwoman.
She had no business going anywhere near Catwoman. I like Anne Hathaway, but please, girl.
You're right. She's a great actress. Just stay away from those roles, please. So yeah, that's number 1. Who's the second actress?
I'd like them to do like what they did with Meryl. Take someone very, very serious and have them be very, very silly. So I'd like a very serious person who I've never seen be silly. Like, for example, a Cate Blanchett.
Oh.
That's what I'd like.
That'd be good.
No, it's Kate Hudson. Goldie Hawn's daughter. Yeah.
Of course. That's really annoying, though, because I feel like they're both too young to be doing that. Or, like, the work has gotten so good now like we need to cast 60-year-old women in these roles, not 40-year-old women.
We need Judi Dench. Judi Dench needs to play this role.
Dig up Maggie. Get her back.
And that's the end of the quiz. Congratulations, you two.
You right now.
Just on the subject of them doing a remake, I absolutely do not want them to remake this movie. But I would potentially accept like a high budget HBO 8-part series.
All like Feud vibes.
Yeah. I could almost see like giving it more time and space. But I don't want to just see it redone with some new actors trying to recapture the magic. I've got no interest in that. Maybe shaking her head.
Well, no, my gut reaction was like, shut up, you're talking shit. But actually, I just had a little chance to sit with that. And I actually, pad out that story, find out a bit more. Yeah,
I think so.
see them at university together, explore what happens like after they're dead a little bit more, really get into the gruesomeness of it.
I also want to find out more about what happened to Madeline Ashton's career.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe I'd like just include the whole musical. Not the Death Becomes Her musical, the Madeline Ashton.
The Songbird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tennessee-
yes, please. Oh,
The Tennessee Williams Bird of Youth musical.
Because
oh my God. Yes.
honestly, I'm like, that's a B+ musical.
It's not a
Yeah.
B+, that's an A+ musical. I think that performance was the reason why I wanted to be a drag performer, and I'm not even shitting you. I remember watching that, and I still watch it, and the whole gag is it's meant to be a bit shit, isn't it? And everyone hates it. It's a flop. If I saw anybody perform that exactly the way she performed it, I'd live my best life. It's incredible.
I see me. I see me.
I mean,
She's
absolutely
good.
same.
She's actually like a pretty decent dancer too. I was like waiting to try and see if they'd replaced her with someone else. She was
Nope.
like, she was keeping up.
There's a bit as well where the camera pans to the audience, and it's where she's doing her burlesque bit, and she flips her feather boa, and that is a proper burlesque flip. She does like a little dip and a thing, and I'm like, yeah, get it, girly.
I was watching it actually a bit bemused because obviously they intercut it with people leaving the audience. So you're like, oh, you're showing it's bad. But I didn't really know in what regard they'd shown it to be bad.
Yeah, they hadn't.
Is it for an audience that hate musicals? And like maybe do you know what it is? It's like, remember in the noughties when Gary Barlow used to say that's a bit cabaret?
Yes.
Is it that? It's for an audience who thinks the lowest form of art is cabaret. And it is a bit cabaret.
Actress, woman, star, and lover.
It's very cabaret,
It
isn't
is
it? Yeah.
very cabaret. But God, who would ever think that? What fools.
And also, sorry, I saw someone else say, "Oh, it's clearly rubbish," because when she has her feather boas, a few of the feathers come off, showing how cheap it is. I'm like, her outfit and her wig are fucking splendid in that performance. That shade
Yeah.
of blue, yes, girl. The
That
mirror
person-
cutout, oh.
She's got like 12 backup dancers. She's got a moving set.
And also, excuse me, she hits disco. She hits burlesque. It's got it all there. That's some money that's been spent on that backing track.
That's not me. Can't be me.
That person who wrote that critique has never held a feather boa or an ostrich feather fan.
Thank
Because you
God.
will be losing some feathers.
I was going to ask you though, like, what is the actual modern day real life equivalent of a fading starlet going into a role like that? And would we appreciate it? And then I realized it was, of course,
Nicole Scherzinger.
in Sunset Boulevard.
Of course it is. And we all did love it.
We
And
did fucking love it.
She's
We
getting
did fucking love
awards
it.
for it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
boom.
So if that play or musical existed in real life, the gays would be there eating Madeline Ashton up.
The script writers really forgot the existence
Gay
of
people.
gays, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about your career ending because we will extend a career beyond all reasonable limits. You can do Mighty Hoopla until you are in your coffin.
As long as you can throw a leg, you've got a career.
That's me.
Cool. Well, let's get into the plot of this movie. We're going to do things slightly differently. We're going to talk about the movie as we go through. So, we open, as we've just discussed, on a Broadway musical starring Madeline Ashton, played by Meryl Streep. The performance is terrible, ? Madeline is oblivious. Helen Sharp, played by Goldie Hawn, is a timid writer, and she watches Madeline's performance with her fiancé, Dr. Ernest Menville, played by Bruce Willis. Ernest has the hots for Madeline, and she seduces him and breaks up the engagement between him and Helen.
I love the way that you see these characters meet each other for the first time, and it just sort of sets the entire precedent for how they're going to communicate with each other. Mad, hell, oh, and it's just the way that Meryl Streep like fakes this, like, how do I look, and then she like shows a bit more body in the negligee, and then like the gasp. It's like, I've got no notes. I'm in hook, line, and sinker right from the first time she fucking speaks.
You're right. And Meryl getting ready to receive the...
Yes.
The pretend gasp.
It's
So
lovely.
good. It's so good. Yeah, you kind of already know everything you need to know about their relationship. It's perfect. So then we smash cut 7 years later, and Helen is overweight. She's depressed. She's living in a filthy apartment, surrounded by cats, and she's obsessively watching Madeline's movies and plotting her revenge. Helen's evicted and institutionalized after having a mental breakdown, and she eventually realizes the only way she's ever going to be free is to kill Madeline. Now, this is one of my first big problems with this movie. I think this movie just very quickly uses a shorthand for being fat, for being crazy and depressed. And it's just like the movie just accepts that those two things are the exact same thing. And I know you've just highlighted a problematic performance of mine from 10 years ago. But it is hard to watch, I think, in the year 2024. And basically, fatness isn't a punchline, and it shouldn't be one. And actors, I need actors to stop getting into fat suits.
Yeah, and it wasn't needed because they really did show. They threw everything at the wall to see what sticks in terms of showing that she was a down and out. I mean, you've literally got her in an asylum.
Yeah.
You've got the cats, classic. Do you also need the fat suit? Probably just, her there, overindulging in some way. Probably you're going to include that. And then just rewatching the video is probably going to do it.
Yeah.
But also, right, isn't the whole thing though, these are grotesque characters from the get-go. We're not meant to like them. Their whole basis is on their vanity and chasing this perfection. So I kind of don't see it as that much of a problem, because I'm from the get-go, these are not people you should be rooting for, and it's kind of just this grotesque world. It kind of reminds me a bit of Absolutely Fabulous, and of course to them that is the worst thing, but I don't know. I'm not as offended by it. But also as someone that is maybe a bit bigger, it's because you two are skinny. I don't know.
Do you think we're being extra careful?
Yeah, I think so. But no, what I will say is I actually just more than anything have a bit of a hard relate to this scene. It reminds me of watching Crystal on Drag Race. And then when she got eliminated, I did sit there repeating it, eating ice cream with my hands.
Fuck diamonds. Try Crystal.
For me it was a very real moment.
But they didn't include the masturbating.
One hand with some vanilla ice cream, the other hand just having a good old tug, yeah.
Control yourself!
But it was the 90s, so fat meant bad.
Yeah.
I think we just have to accept that this was the culture of the time.
But the bit where Goldie is watching Madeline getting strangled repeatedly is, again, that to me is pure camp cinema. It's so funny. And the way that Meryl is playing up this shit, soap opera actress. It's those little details in this film that really sort of sing to me and really make me enjoy it and make me want to watch it again and again and again.
It's exquisite.
Totally. There's so many more of them than I remembered. I remembered that one, obviously, but there's lots of little sight gags that you can kind of forget or miss, and they didn't need to do it. You can see that they spent the budget. There's lots of such shots. You're you definitely didn't need to do that. The movie would have been just fine without it, but you did do it, and it just adds this whole richness and texture. Like the floating nuns in the hospital.
Yeah.
Why were they floating?
Why were there floating nuns? Who cares? I love it. I'm never going to say no to a floating nun.
Look, we've got the roller skates, so...
Okay, so then smash forward another 7 years, and Madeline and Ernest are married, but miserable. Madeline's career is over, and Ernest is a drunk and a mortician instead of being a renowned plastic surgeon. Madeline is incredibly vain. She's obsessing over her fading beauty, and she fears aging. And there's the amazing scene with her demanding that her maid tells her that she's looking younger every day. So good. I love this scene because it's obviously played for laughs, her unwrapping her face and her neck tape and her eye tape and all of that. And then you look at the year 2024 and like that is just influencer standard.
This is it. She knows.
It's so weird.
We don't sleep on our sides anymore. I recently acquired a pillow that forces you to sleep upright, and it looks like a torture device. And I'm some eye tapes away from being Madeline Ashton.
Feminism.
That isn't good though, right? Like it's not good that society took this satire from 1994 and was like, yeah, let's do that.
The film ends in 2029. We're only nearly 4 years away from the future, and I think we've already surpassed a lot of what they're doing. Are you telling me though that if you didn't get offered this serum, would you not take it?
Of course, I would take it.
Yeah,
there wouldn't be any questions, and you can always just say, "I want to be alone." And like the trade-off is so much better than the substance, you know, because you can just sort of go and be alone, and like, you know, you will probably fall apart a little bit, but you're not going to turn into this weird monster. So I would find it quite an easy deal to make.
Well, unless you die, and then you do become a zombie monster.
You just mustn't die.
Yeah.
What I would suggest is they just need to get their hands on some of Sharon Stone's face cream from Catwoman, and it's the perfect combination.
Oh my God, this is the spin-off that we need.
This is the multiverse we're living in because that was in the future. So all you need to do is meet Sharon Stone, whack a bit of that on. Hello, we're living the best life possible.
If the gays were in power, the Marvel Cinematic Universe would be so different.
Everybody's just got rock hard skin. Okay, so then Madeline gets an invitation to Helen's new book launch, and that makes her rush straight to her beauty salon to get a fresh treatment because she needs to look her best if she's going to be seeing Helen. They tell her they can't help her. She's already had the works, but she does get a card for the mysterious Liesel. Mads and Ernest then attend Helen's book launch, and Helen appears. She's had a full glow up. She is looking banging. It must be said. I think Robert Zemeckis did Who Framed Roger Rabbit and was like, should we just do a real life Jessica Rabbit?
You're right. They just wheeled out. It's the same silhouette, same hair.
Yeah. They're like, this works.
And it did.
It really
But they've lost the gloves, so it's different.
Uh-huh.
But isn't it still wild, actually, comparatively now? You look at like people like Lindsay Lohan, Christina Aguilera, and Goldie looks just very natural. She just looks like she's just got great hair and makeup and a banging body. But there's nothing about her that's looking like crazy. And now she just looks like what 90s like glow up was compared to what 2024 glow up is. They're miles apart.
So that's actually who you'd cast, isn't it? You'd cast Lindsay Lohan. You want to get that critique going, and because you can always age people up, it's kind of easier. So, let's get Lindsay Lohan. If they're going to do a remake, that's Lindsay Lohan versus Christina Aguilera.
Did you know that they actually did age Meryl up for these scenes, for this section of the movie before she has the potion? She's got prosthetics on to age her up. Yeah.
I assumed, because the transformation is really impressive.
Yeah. So Madeline is shocked by Helen's transformation. She's super jealous. And Helen pretends to reconcile with Madeline, but also secretly plots to destroy her. Madeline's super insecure, so she goes to visit her toy boy, but he's busy with a younger woman, and he says that their relationship is ridiculous, and he throws her out.
I really enjoy the scene with the toy boy.
Dakota.
I think he does it so well. The lying, and then she says, if you're going to lie, at least lie quickly, and he really does his best.
I'm trying!
And he's got those
so good.
Lovely pecs, and it's a good scene.
It's a great scene. So that finally pushes Madeline over the edge, and she makes her way to visit Liesel. Liesel is played by Isabella Rossellini, and is frankly one of the most attractive people to ever be on screen in this movie, I think. She looks so great.
And she swims in a scarf. So
She's and heels. She swims in a kitten heel.
if that's not going to give queer joy, I don't know what is.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
But again, this is the thing with like how people age. You know when they're going through her age and she says, "How old do you think I am?" And like Meryl Streep's like, "I don't know, 38, 28, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that she's actually 71. By today's standard, I'm like, yeah, I can see it. It wasn't as gaggy as it probably was, you know, nearly 30 years ago. I was like, literally like, yeah, you're giving me Cher vibes right now.
I forgot what the reveal was of that age, and I was fully expecting her to say 200.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, sign me up. I'm
Oh,
like,
shit.
but I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
Kris Jenner, Cher, Dolly, yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing like the whole sort of body illusion nude vibe anyway, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she also has a body double doing the scene. So I'm also like, yeah, you're 71, and I believe it. A
Oh, do
good
you
looking
think
71.
it was body double and a nude illusion?
I think there was a combo, yeah.
Wow.
I know there was a body double. I know
Do
that.
you?
So yeah. It was me. It was me. I shaved my back. But let's talk about Isabella Rossellini in this film.
Yeah.
She's great, isn't she? She's
Flawless.
fabulous. She's what you want from this character.
Yeah. No notes. She's got some great one-liners. She says some really weird things. I mean, this is later, but when she stabs Bruce Willis's hand, and he says, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm loving you."
I'm loving you.
Like, what are you on about, you crazy woman? I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah, phenomenal. And also, I think we have to give a shout out to her, would we say, assistants?
Who all look like Fabio, and then you realize one of them actually is Fabio.
This is what I heard. Is that true?
Yeah,
That's
this is before he was that
fabulous.
famous.
The more ripped ones obviously give that vibe. The less ripped ones these days, I'm ashamed to say that I saw Russell Brand, which just it ruined it.
I love it. They all look like they're about to do a magic trick with a tiger. So Madeline's there with Liesel, and Liesel offers her a potion that restores youth and halts aging. And Madeline, of course, takes it and is instantly rejuvenated with her ass and tits and face just
Hoiking.
hoiking. Meanwhile, Helen seduces Ernest and convinces him to kill Madeline so they can be together, and they plan to murder her.
Which actually brings me to something. Have I ever told you this, Crystal? But I think you're a powerful, sexual being. Have I ever said that to you?
No, but please go on.
Because you are. If I never told you before, it was because I wasn't the sort of girl who could say the word sexual without blushing. Well, now I can. Sexual. Sensual. Sexy. Sex.
What if I just left the Zoom right now?
No, but this is something I wanted to talk about because after that whole moment, one of the campest things to ever happen in this film that I bet no one's picked up on, we see a close-up of Goldie's feet and she lifts up a flash of a sensible satin court shoe. And,
You're right.
Oh my God, I came alive when I saw that.
I didn't see it.
I did.
It's a sensible shoe. That actually just made me laugh so much because it is just such an ugly shoe. Again, it's little bits of these things that you don't notice in the film that you're like, camp, tick.
And do you know what? I do the same thing. I think the way that she is moving and the way that her performance is giving, maybe she couldn't have done that in a 5-inch.
Yeah, fine. We've all been there.
We have.
I can't do anything out of a heel, so you put me in a heel, and I'm lucky if I can walk across the room.
But can we also just talk about how amazing their wardrobes are throughout the film? They are like sensational. Like the bit where Goldie Hawn's wearing that little like cat burglar outfit, and she's got the cute little glasses and the beret, and
the
she's
beret.
like trotting around. It's so hot.
Yeah, they're so good. My favorite little costume moment is right after Meryl gets the potion and she comes home and she puts on her slinky little black number, and then she throws on that big purple sheer diaphanous chiffon whatever on top, and it's just like, that's her outfit. It's so good.
And also just like a low pony as well. I love like a low pony with like a big coiffured front bit. Oh, gorge.
So then, where are we? They've just plotted to murder Madeline. Meryl comes back home and then delivers one of her most iconic scenes in the movie.
Classic.
Watch what you say, Mel. Not to take this anymore.
And he, in a fit of rage, pushes her down the stairs. To his surprise, Madeline dies, but then quickly reanimates thanks to the potion. Her neck is totally fucked.
You pushed me down the stairs.
Ernest is panicked, and Madeline forces him to help repair her injuries, and he uses his skills as an undertaker to repaint her and get her looking gorgeous again. Helen arrives to check on Ernest, and Madeline overhears them discussing how they were planning to kill her. So Madeline shoots Helen with a shotgun, leaving a gaping hole in her abdomen. Helen also reanimates, and then it's the reveal that she's also taken the same potion.
I can see right through you.
And the two women bicker about their immortality and have this amazing shovel fight. And then they finally admit that they've been pretty fucking nasty to each other. They realize that they're going to live forever, and they're going to need Ernest's help to keep patching them up. So the only solution is to get him to take the potion too. They knock Ernest out and take him to Liesel. So then they visit Liesel, who offers Ernest the potion, encouraging him to join them in immortality. Realizing the curse of eternal life, Ernest refuses, and he escapes Liesel's house, leaving Madeline and Helen behind.
So I think something I love at the moment with where we got to in the film is like, I love how unafraid to get ugly and to really be in on the joke, both Meryl and Goldie Hawn with this. Like the way that they commit to these characters is like next level. And like, you know, seeing Goldie Hawn when she's been drained from the water, she's got those contact lenses on, she's got the hole in her stomach. I just love how like both of them have just gone, we're just going to go in for this. And obviously like Meryl's body's distorted, she's got bones out of place. And I just think, I can't imagine two other actresses of this era sort of really being able to nail the comedy like they both in this scene. I just think it's so...
They're both playing it at the same pitch, which is crucial. It's well balanced. They're both giving like, you know, it's dialed up and it's heightened and it's exaggerated, but there's still room for nuance there. It's just, and it's expert bits of clowning and bits of physical comedy as well.
Totally.
Yeah, just watching Meryl do some of the lines, like she goes into like 8 different octaves in one sentence because she's emoting so hard, and she's really she puts like so much into every single line that she does. It's really, really impressive, and it should just feel really hammy and bad, but it just feels so fun.
She finds so much like depth with all of the lines, and like the script isn't like particularly, you know, that like detailed, but I did a drag show with Jinx Monsoon where she played Madeline Ashton, and like Jinx can do like a pitch perfect impression of Madeline Ashton, but it's like you said, watching like Jinx do the impersonation, you're like listening to like what is really sort of basic lines, but hearing all of these different levels, and it just made me realize how hard it was for Meryl in the first place to kind of execute it at that level. It's like a masterclass. No wonder everyone says she's such a fucking great actress.
Yeah,
bringing gravitas to a role like this is like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
because it could have been slapstick, a lot of falling downstairs, It could have been mostly falling downstairs. But with each step is a different emotion.
And also, I think seeing like Goldie Hawn in this sort of role was really great as well, because Goldie Hawn has always been your like girl next door. Sure, she's like played Private Benjamin, she's played House Sitter, like she's always been known for these like kind of kooky comedy girls. I really love seeing her be a bit like darker and not being the blonde and being the kind of like this malicious one as well, because when Meryl went for the part, she just assumed she would have been Helen. So she didn't even know that Madeline would have been offered to her. She just was like, well, obviously I'm going to be Helen in this story. And I love that they've almost like flipped those roles, because you could definitely see Goldie Hawn being Madeline Ashton, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I suppose anyone who can play one probably can play the other, because it's such the power shifts, and like, you know, Goldie Hawn's character goes from the down and out to the and vice versa.
I love that you said that it's like brave of them to like commit with the like ugly performances, but also in this movie they get to look
so fit,
like potentially the best that people have ever looked on screen. So
Sure,
that's like the trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah, but also it's like, but when they have their sort of second round of the spray painting from, they look mental, because their eye colours, pigments off. They're like the colour is tone. They're like versions of hotness, but they still. And then right at the end, when they're all like sagging and falling apart, they really look shit. So yeah,
it's very Baby Queen first time covering the brows texture.
Oh yeah.
The category is Butch Queen first time in drags at a ball.
Okay, so then the final scene of the movie, 37 years later, and we are at Ernest's funeral, where it is revealed that he lived a fulfilling life, making a positive impact on others. Madeline and Helen are at the funeral. They're in the back row. They're laughing. They are falling the fuck apart. They've gone full Night of the Living Dead. And they seem like they still fucking hate each other. They get into an argument. The fight leads to them falling down a staircase. Their heads fall off. And we're left with them stuck forever in their own personal hell.
Now, I think that's the third staircase fall of the movie. I think if you've lived 37 years with a situation where whatever injury you get, you're keeping it, and you've had like nothing except weirdly your skin's fallen off, don't know what's gone on there, I think I'm going to need the big cataclysmic all your body parts fall off to be maybe a bit more fab and a bit stranger and a bit bigger than fall down quite a small flight of stairs. Maybe 6 stairs?
No, see, I'm in the showgirl school of thought, where if you're going to reference a falling down a set of stairs, you might as well do it multiple times in the movie.
Right.
And frankly, there's never enough times in my world.
Great.
Okay, so that's the plot of Death Becomes Her. What are our thoughts?
Well, what don't you like about it then? Because I believe, like, you know, both of you sort of teased that maybe there's some issues with this film. So I'm curious. We've sort of covered a bit about the fat phobia. What else don't you like about it? What do you find a bit iffy?
Well, I think we talked about this a bit earlier, but Sue mentioned it. I think the feminism of this movie is a little bit problematic, if not entirely missing. I need to preface this by saying, like, I love seeing a movie about women being bitches. It's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I believe in women's rights and women's wrongs. But I think these women are a little underwritten. And I wish we knew a little bit more about why they hated each other. I wish they weren't punished for trying to meet society's expectations. They're in that situation that I think a lot of women are in, and frankly, that I feel like I'm in sometimes too. It's just like, you're doomed if you try too hard to stay young, and you're doomed if you let yourself go, and you can't win either way. So I think it's a bit of a shame that this movie, in the end, is just about punishing them for that instead of and letting Bruce Willis get off scot-free. I think the ultimate message of this movie just feels a little bit undercooked. And like I want to couch that with me saying I fucking love this movie. I love it so much. It's great. I just think watching it from a 2024 lens, you can kind of tell this is a bunch of men writing about what they think women's problems are.
But I don't think it would have been a camp classic, and I don't think it would have spoken to a 2024 perspective on queerness and feminism had it been women at that time writing this movie. Because I think that it would have tried to be balanced in a really boring, real women, real bodies, I'm a Dove advert in 2012 way. And I think that it would have been shit. And I look at it from a 2024 lens, and I'm like, I don't think Bruce Willis sort of gets the happy ending, because I see what goes on with them, and I think, fab, I want that.
Yeah.
You know, the grotesquerie of it all. I don't want to
And
be
also-
sat in the front of that funeral earnestly saying, oh, he had such a good life because he led a thing on, like, women's rights in Africa. No, I want to be sat at the back laughing at him while my face falls off.
Right at the end, yeah, that laugh, the way that they nail that laugh, and you just got them sort of sniggering. Oh God, that is so fucking beautiful. The way
It's
they're just
joyous.
like, oh, whatever, and they're there, like their faces are falling apart, but they still are like, oh, fucking loser. And like all the way through this film, he is a loser. Like you're just literally when he decides to be too big to take the potion, you're like, oh, well done, boo hoo you. I also just think as well, I think it's interesting talking about like kind of the women being underwritten, because like Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn were both pretty high status actresses at this point. And I think it sort of implies that they wouldn't have had any agency in what they were signing on for. And I actually think they very much were enjoying kind of the delicious darkness of this as a film to sign on to. And so I kind of don't see it being a problem. I think it's sort of such a satire of that world of like all of us chasing beauty, all of these ridiculous beauty standards, that I kind of think, yeah, it's interesting. A film that we covered recently, Sue, was Wild Things, and Denise Richards and Neve Campbell are in that film. And I would argue they literally, as the actors in the film, have like no power, and they've been really rigorously put through the male gaze to the point that they're just there. Whereas I kind of really feel that both Meryl and Goldie are like so intrinsic to this. Even if they didn't write it, it feels like they've really stamped themselves on it. So I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Well, I totally agree that like I don't think that either of these actresses are like losing out by being in this movie. And I wouldn't change any of it because I think it needed to exist. But what I do think, if it were getting remade now, I don't know, maybe I would have given them a little bit more of a convincing backstory. I might have made the main conflict not about a man. I might have made it that, like, a man's rejection didn't drive a woman into a mental institution. I don't know, these just feel like very tropey. I do think it's a little undercooked. And that's okay, because it's really funny, and it looks great, and it's not going to stop me enjoying the movie. But there is something a little bit missing for me. Like, what if we'd seen Helen really being a fucking snob to Madeline? And, like, really emphasizing that class struggle that they'd had.
Sounds a bit like you're making it into this HBO TV special a bit more, though. Like, to
Which
me, it's
by all
like,
means do.
Yeah. I feel like the style of this comedy, though, is very, like, I don't think it needs like me, because I think there's a real sort of genre of kind of dark comedy like this that are sort of quite surface level. And I don't know if I need the padding out. Like for instance, I love the scene where it's, you know, talking about how they're going to set up Madeline's death, and like the kind of the dark storytelling of it. And again, it's very kind of like, it's very like stylized, and I think the stylized this is part of the appeal. And I think if it had too much meat to it, it wouldn't be as stylized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they could have just shifted some of their choices. Like, the other thing I kind of have a problem with is that Goldie Hawn, her character, when we first meet her, she doesn't seem like a vain person at all. She's like looks like a serious kind of writer lady, and then she like has a mental breakdown. And then the next time we see her, she's suddenly like this vain person, and it's kind of like, well, that was never your storyline. And so maybe it would have made sense for that to be Meryl Streep's storyline, because she's someone in the spotlight, and we've already learned that this character is all about vanity. But it's almost like they're just like, oh, but also Goldie Hawn's also really vain, because, you know, women, vain.
Yeah. I can see what you mean. And if it was just the classic all about Eve, ingenue, faded star kind of dynamic, then they could have made that switch very easily from obsequious, desperate to please, quite nervous, to, you know, superstar, glamour, disdain, haughtiness
Sure.
quite easily, and then it would have been competing not over a man, but maybe over roles, which would be, I'm not going to say feminist, but it would have been perhaps a step towards that. So yeah, I can take your point. Yeah.
Also, like in The Substance, the Sue character in The Substance, she's like a distilled version of all of Demi Moore's narcissism. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, obviously it makes sense that those two women are having a battle about those things, but I don't know. The battle, the conflict at the center of the movie doesn't really hold up under scrutiny, if you ask me, in this one.
I think it's a bit weird to compare it to The Substance, because The Substance is taking bigger swings, I think, for what the purpose of the film is meant to be. Whereas this comes off of Tales from the Crypt, doesn't it? That's where the story comes from. It's like part of that series, and it was meant to just be a TV sequel to that. So I see it, because it is a zombie film. It's about zombies living in Hollywood. So I think for me, it's just kind of, I don't think the intention was to ever be making like a film that was meant to be beyond a bit of fun. I don't know. If I want to see a film like this, I'd see a Julianne Moore film. I just enjoy how silly this is.
Yeah, totally. I just think that there are things they could have done that would have, and it wouldn't have changed any of the silly. Like, make Goldie Hawn a desperate actress too. And then you're like, fine. They're both shallow people in the same shallow world that are both obsessed with keeping their looks, and they're fighting for the same roles, and they've been fighting for the same man, and it just makes sense.
But you would potentially lose the East London lesbian in 2013 wig at the start, the short bangs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, they did speak to me.
Yeah. I just think what I'm trying to say is that there are times in this movie where you can tell that this was written and directed by heterosexual men.
Chauvinists and sexists and misogynists and
I think maybe it's like, and also just the time that films are made as well. I think it's very easy for us to kind of revision things this is nearly 30 years old, this film. So of course it's going to have stuff that doesn't sit in line with what we would do or expect from a film sort of covering similar topics. I just think it's a tricky one, isn't it? I'm not sort of saying that gives blanket like, oh, that means it's all right because it was old. But I do just think it's like, it's like a minor issue for me, I think.
Yeah, I see that. I think it's a minor issue for me too. Like, I basically fully accept this movie for what it is. And I'm so glad it exists. But the whole point of revisiting a movie, I think, is just to be like, well, what have we learned since then? What is different about now versus then?
Feminism.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at what films do and do not stand up to the moral test of time. I wonder how many films from 1992 would come close to passing the Bechdel test. This one, at least it's two great parts for women. It might not be two great women, but it's two great parts for women.
Okay, this is maybe another loaded question, but I wondered about if we should talk a little bit about why this movie is a queer classic and what resonates so much, and maybe a little bit also about like what it is we love about seeing two women go at it. And is that okay? I don't know.
It's complex, isn't it?
It is complex.
It's not completely okay. There's always a dark edge there. Why do we like the ones that died young? Why do we like to see a great woman destroyed? What's going on there?
I just really think it depends on the type of film and the genre, because that's like not obviously that's not like a blanket thing. If this was if this was a film starring Julianne Moore and Cate Blanchett, and we really were seeing two women tearing apart each other in a quite like brutal way, I definitely don't think I would get joy from that. But yeah, you're right. In films like this, I do get joy, and I kind of love the cattiness and the one-liners. But I don't know if that is something that is linked to just women, or if that's linked to that sort of style of parts. Like if this were two queers going at it, I probably would love it as well. If it were two straight men, probably wouldn't love it, just because I don't really enjoy watching straight men. But I kind of,
broy.
But even something like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where it's like Brad versus Angie and they're getting one up on top of each other, I love that kind of pettiness. And I think, I'm not sure for me if it's a women thing, or if it's more just this kind of that kind of petty cattiness, I'm going to destroy you mentality, and that's something I can relate to. I think.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
a really good
tearing
point.
people
It's
down.
basically like this is a really dated reference, but like Will and Grace, like the whole show is just them all just being mean to each other, and maybe what we're responding to in this movie is like queer culture, which is us also just it's how we kind of show affection in a way. Is
Yeah. You're so
being
right
cunts
about
to
Will
each
and
other.
Grace. Like Karen and Jack are
Yeah.
vile, but they're by far the most interesting characters in that.
Yeah.
But I also think that there is something about showing the underside of something that's seemingly shiny and perfect that subverts it and shows that all along this idea of this perfect woman or perfect whatever it is constructed and it's silly, and we exist outside of it as queers, and we look at it and we say, how stupid, wouldn't it be fun to watch that crumble and fall? And I think that that's what we're doing when we watch a perfect woman do that. But also, I recently watched Conclave, which I highly recommend, and there you see these cardinals choosing a pope and all the solemnity of that, and then something scandalous will happen, or someone will make a weird vote, a weird decision, and you'll see a cardinal just give a little scandalized puff on a vape, and it just has the same vibe. We love to see gravitas undermined. I think bathos is the humor of queerness.
Oh, that was very deep. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What did you call it? Bathos?
Bathos.
I don't know what the fuck she's saying, but girl, I am living.
Not pathos.
No, we don't like that one.
We hate that one.
We don't like to feel for people.
And bathos is
it's undermining.
Enjoying the suffering of someone. Is it like Schadenfreude?
No, it's just undermining. So it's like, you do a big speech and then you fart.
Ah, right. So it's drag.
See, I'm laughing already. No, but you're right as well, because like so, all the time, loads of people would be like, oh, I can really relate to Madeline Ashton in this, or I can, you kind of take joy from claiming those characters. But really, if you sit with it, we're not like that as real human beings. Like, no one is that caricature. You might say I'm a real bitch. I'm a real bitch, but actually at your core, you're probably not. You're probably a very loving. Yeah. It's just fun to go a bit panto sometimes, isn't it?
Everybody wants to be Kim Cattrall.
Samantha Jones!
One more thing I want to say about this film, though, is I just think, like, the set design, the music design, the costume design, everything about it is really fucking gorgeous in that kind of very luxe 90s way that a lot of films, especially dark comedies, seem to have this same sort of aesthetic. And I think that is just something that really, it's a real visual delight, aside from the CGI stuff, which still, I think, holds up in a kind of pretty, like, comic book horror way.
Yeah.
It's perhaps not the most realistic now, but I think it looks like it's all been considered and designed, and I think
totally.
it just kind of is gorgeous to look at, even without all of the text. I think it's quite a beautiful
film. Yeah, it was really
film.
reminding me of Addams Family Values as well. It's just like, it just feels really like well thought through and rich. Another thing I thought of, they do that whole like montage where they're planning Madeline's death, and they like go to the trouble of blowing up a car for that scene. It's like, you didn't need to do that. The movie did not need you to blow up a car, and yet you did. And like, I'm really glad that you did. It's just really fun.
And when she's doing that, you see flames reflected in Bruce Willis's sunglasses, and I'm like, you really have gone the extra mile. Yeah. Who's this for? Because it was obviously lost on the audience of the time. It was for us.
It was for us.
I love how they've even switched who's wearing red and who's wearing white in those scenes as well. So Goldie Hawn is completely dressed in white, and then Madeline's in red there. So they flicked it, like, who's in the kind of the relationship, the wholesome relationship, who's dangerous, who's the evil one. They've kind of done a 180 on it.
Oh,
that's
didn't notice that. Really fun. Well, I think the only thing left then is for us to rate this movie. So the time has come to give this movie a score on the Campometer. We're looking for scores on our Merrills.
I'm Julia Child.
Oh, this is our first Merrill movie.
Meryl on Meryl, yeah.
It's Meryl on Meryl. How many Meryls are we going to give this Meryl film? Oh, gosh. Tricky. So Meryl's, of course, is the quality of the film. Can take into account all sorts of things. But yeah, we're looking for a score out of 10 Meryls.
So obviously it's got a head start with having some Meryls, but it doesn't have a Meryl in every cast and crew role, so there's room for errors. But it has a Meryl in the leading two ladies. Goldie Hawn is giving it's a Meryl level performance, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to give it maybe 9 Meryls.
Feminism.
Baby, what about you?
Now I've listened to the commentary, I'm actually going to go a bit lower on the scale than I originally was going to. Am I fuck? It's 10! 10 fucking Meryls! It's 10 Meryls! This is a dark comedy, and it does that. It is absolutely, from start to finish, a hilarious film. It's 10 for me.
Wow. Came out swinging.
Yep.
I am giving this movie... Oh, gosh. I'm really torn.
Go with your heart. Go where you feel that you need to sit with this.
And remember, the stakes are quite low.
Yeah.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I think there's so much good about it. It's nearly perfect for me, but there are a few problems with it, and that I've outlined. And for that reason, I'm going to give it 8 Meryls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Very modest.
God, I might regret it. I'm going to look at my other scores and be like, what the fuck? Cool. Well, what about Liza's? So this is the camp factor of the movie. How camp is this movie? I'll start. I think this movie is a perfect camp masterpiece. It's 10 Lizas from me. It's my first.
It's not good. For me, perfectly camp, I don't think you can have a perfectly camp, perfect movie. It's too good a movie. I think that it's doing what it sets out to do, and it's doing well, which is not a camp thing to do. If you would compare it to the apotheosis of Camp Showgirls, which is just, a wild mess, I think I'm going to have to go 5 Lizas.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's too good. And it's too...
Wait.
Whoa.
Right.
Wait a second. Look, we've had a few episodes since you were here discussing intentional camp.
Right.
And I think there is a space in the comedic sphere for a movie to be both camp and good. And we're talking Addams Family. We're talking But I'm a Cheerleader. We're talking probably Batman Returns, although we haven't discussed it. It's like this special space that a certain kind of comedy can be like simultaneously queer and weird and stupid, but also be a good movie. But anyway,
let us speak on it, Sue.
Your score is your own. But let me just take you back for 1 second. Wait, and one more thing. Let's take it back to Baby's criteria.
Yes, please.
We've got unlocks queer joy.
Yes.
Ongoing legacy.
Yes.
Stupid.
Very.
Informs queer pop culture.
It does.
Anti-mainstream / underdog flop vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What more do you want, Sue?
I have one thing to say to you, Sue.
Yeah.
You're a fraud, Sue. You're a walking lie, and I can see right through you.
I was a heterosexual man all along. I get it. I can see, and maybe you have haggled me up some Lizas, but you've not haggled me all the way up, because one of those criteria was anti-mainstream or flop vibes. Now, it did sort of a bit flop financially. Could have done a lot worse. I would like it to have done a lot worse for my Lizas. And also, anti-mainstream, well, it tried to be mainstream, and the kind of thing that it tried to be, it was, really. it's not a Showgirls that whatever it tried to be, and that is unclear, it wasn't. So I think, or yes, there's more room for intentional camp than I had perhaps allowed, but I still think there is a place reserved in the pantheon of camp that intentional camp cannot access. And so you have haggled me up to, I will give it 7 Lizas. Thank you. That's my final offer.
You see, darling, you are a whore.
We'll take it. I'm sorry, I couldn't have that 5 bringing that score down that low.
Oh, baby, you're still not happy, are you?
You idiot. To quote Madeline Ashton. Listen, when you told me this was the podcast, this was the film we were going to be doing, I kind of just thought it was a bit pointless because to me, I connect so much to this movie that's why I probably blindly ignore some of the problematic tones, which I think, again, is quite camp. I think if you're a queer person and you can find pure campness in something, hold on to that tight. Hold on to it like it's a dying dog until it dies. So I knew from the get-go this was always going to be... I don't know what
I'm always holding on to a dying dog until it dies.
That's the queer experience.
What I'm trying to say is, though, for me, this film has been, from the first viewing, a 10 out of 10 for me on campness and in terms of enjoyment of the film. And I've done interactive screenings of this. I've done a drag show of this. I still watch this film regularly. And so it's right up there. I would be lying to myself and I'd be dishonest to my true feelings if I gave it anything less than a 10. It's 10s, 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 10s across the board for me.
I'm feeling very guilty because I know when you plot this graph that adds to the sum total of human knowledge, I can see now that this film is not going to be where you want it to be.
But listen, this is exactly why we're having other people on the podcast. Because as I said, if I just spoke about this film and just said it's perfect, what's the fucking point of dissecting the film? Loads of people think it's camp. It's great to have people saying why they don't think it's camp, in my opinion. Right. You're wrong, though. Liar. Liar. You're going to hell. Burn, bitch. I hate you.
I'll see you there.
Wait, let me quickly average that out. So what is it? I'm going to just say it.
Sue has shat all over this one. If this ends up with a lower camp score than Wild Things, I'm leaving the podcast.
So that gives us an average of 9 Meryls and 9 Lizas. Very solid. I think we can officially certify this a camp classic.
Right now.
That is far and away our highest rated movie yet.
I have given out, on my 2 episodes, I've given a 9 Meryl and I've given a 0 Meryl. I cannot wait to review an average film with
you. She's a woman who knows her mind. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sue, for being here. Where can people find you and follow you?
Just on the Instagram, really, at Sue Gives a Fuck.
Love it. Baby, how about you?
Oh, you want more information from me? This is just you all over, Crystal, isn't it? You'll take everything I have to give. You always have. You're not even a man anymore. And I need a man. A real man, not just some drunken, broken down, flaccid undertaker who's just as dead below the waist as his clients are. Yeah, just Instagram.
Yeah.
Baby.lame.
We will be back in another 2 weeks with another camp classic. Bye!
Get away from her, you bitch!
Classic.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
No more hangers! You thought you'd become a prostitute or a drug addict.
I used to love Doggy Chow. I used to love Doggy Chow, too.